Hi folks, this is David Englert here with Kingdom Strategic TV, and today we have a special guest. We have Dr. Melvia Agbeko, who is a naturopathic doctor in Toronto, Canada, and she's not only a practicing naturopathic doctor, but she's also an instructor and a supervisor at the local naturopathic college in Toronto. And Dr. Agbeko, we really appreciate you taking some time to be with us here today.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much, David.
You're welcome. Dr. Agbeko, naturopathic medicine is a very, very new thing to a lot of people. We just tend to not know a whole lot about it. It's catching on, and it seems like people are becoming a little bit more aware. But being that it is, a lot unfamiliar to a lot of people, where would someone begin if they were trying to find a good naturopathic doctor?
You're right, definitely naturopathic medicine is catching on quite a bit, and there's so many options for so many people out there. So I like to keep it simple. You're looking for three main things really, David. You're looking for the right style. Does it fit the style that you're looking for, and does it jive or resonate with what you already do in your life? The second thing is the right fit. In terms of location or in terms of practice outcomes, all those things are to be taken into consideration when looking for a naturopathic doctor. And of course, at the end of the day, we definitely want to specialize in results. And so it's good to know what has this naturopathic doctor done before that maybe I may be suffering from, or I may be in need of their services, and I could also see outcomes and results from it as well. So at the end of the day, biggest things are the style of practice, whether it's a right fit for the individual, compatibility, and a good relationship that's able to be built over time, and of course, results and outcomes, I would say.
So if someone were to look to do some research on that, are there some resources that you might recommend where they should look, or some specialized places that they could find some listings or some information?
Oh, absolutely. In terms of logistics, because so many people are online these days, so many people are doing a lot of their research through online services, I would first go to the local membership boards. We have the OND here in Toronto, which is the Ontario Association of Naturopathic Doctors. There's also the CAND, which is the Canadian Association of Naturopathic Doctors. And of course, we have our regulatory board, which is the BDDTN. At any one of those areas, especially the OND and the CND, which most practicing naturopathic doctors in Toronto have to be members of both. You can easily go, you can search by name, you can search by location, you can search by specialty, and of course there are other specialized services that definitely people are using to be able to now search by niches. So for example, if somebody's looking for a naturopathic doctor who specializes in reproductive concerns or women's health or pediatrics, for example, those two are available for people to search. At the end of the day, even if people didn't go there, they could easily go to Google and type in something, naturopathic doctor in Toronto, women's health, for example, and a lot of hits, I'm sure, will come up and be a service and a guide for patients who are looking for a specific approach.
If you were really trying to find, I think a lot of things that scare people from looking for a doctor is they're always looking for a particular bedside manner, I guess you'd call it, and
right.
They want to make sure that the doctor is listening to their concerns. And we've all had these occasions when we've gone somewhere and it seemed like the doctor didn't want to pay as much attention as we felt that they should be paying to us.
Of course.
You maybe talk a little bit about there are some differences that I've heard with naturopathic doctors as opposed to going to a traditional medical doctor who has to deal with all the different insurances and things. Could you maybe talk a little bit about that?
As in terms of approach, you mean?
As far as the amount of time that's being spent, because I think a lot of us feel like we're kind of rushed through a process, and it's a little bit different with naturopathic medicine.
Right. At the end of the day, I think all forms of medicine have their role to play. The medical system, as it is designed to be able to address very acute concerns, and definitely it has its role to play. Unfortunately, when you have the patient who has a chronic concern, or several chronic concerns, a lot of those don't get to be addressed in the time period that's allocated through the system for a conventional doctor. And so with naturopathic doctors, on average, what you will see in a first visit is spending roughly 1.5 hours, maybe 2. There are varying rates, so anywhere from 1 to 2 hours, getting to the history, getting a really in-depth history about a patient's concerns or patient's complaints. And so I do definitely feel that is a strength of naturopathic medicine, being able to spend time. And with time, spending that time comes the ability to build relationships that are based on healthy boundaries and so forth, that developed into something quite a bit more over time. And when people hear about the time that is spent and the care and the listening skills and the open compassion that's displayed by naturopathic doctors, people tend to want to talk about that with their friends or their families or their colleagues. And I think another part of how people hear about you is the word of mouth, how people explain their experiences to others that allow for growth of practices. But at the end of the day, it is something that we have to, just because I think the information that we gather, we have to look at the whole picture, right? We do so many modalities and fuse that with the biomedical sciences and the biomedical approach. So in my mind, I call that the best of both worlds, but it takes time to kind of master and juggle a lot of that. So it needs a little bit more time when the patient is in front of you.
Mm-hmm. So if viewers are watching right now and they would be interested in coming to visit you,
yes,
what kind of experience would they expect to get?
Right. I like that you use the word experience, David, because right from the get-go, what I try to provide for patients is an experience. So at the very beginning, I actually give a little bit of, we just have a conversation at the beginning and we frame goals and we frame what we're looking for, because I think at the end of the day, I'm not telling people what to do with their health. I am empowering people and encouraging people to make changes that support healthy, long-term success in their own journeys. And so I like to think of myself as a facilitator and a coach, and I tell patients this. So at the beginning, we frame the appointments like that. We get into goals, we get into the story of the patient's concerns. So at the end of the day, they are well listened to, well attended to. There's a great degree of compassion, and then I'm looking at different ways to help, depending on the modalities that I would use. What more can I say? Essentially, it's going to be very, very unique for each patient. The details are going to be unique. The approach is pretty much the same. And so in that visit, there's a history component where we listen to the story. I like to say that it's a story because I think people's stories influence their health and their choices in life. And then, of course, there's going to be the treatment and the physical examination component and the liaison with their medical professionals and other health professionals. And then, of course, follow-up, because that has to be there. At the end of the day, I like to think that I'm planting seeds, or helping to plant seeds anyway, to help patients take that control back of their lives, to be empowered as a part of a team to be able to see the outcomes, providing, of course, that I'm the right fit and that my style of practice is right for them as well.
Terrific. Fantastic. So, folks, if you are interested or would like to talk to Dr. Agbeko, we're actually putting her phone number up on the screen right now. So if you'd like to give her a call, you can reach her at area code 416-519-5527, or you can visit her on her website online at melviaagbekond.com. So, Dr. Agbeko, we appreciate your time here today, and folks, I hope this was enlightening to you. It certainly was to me, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, David. Bye-bye.